excited about December coming up. It is my birthday month, so it is my favorite month of the entire year, and I wanted to do some holiday looks for you guys because last year I wanted to do a lot more, and I just never really got around to it. So this year I've promised myself and promised you guys that I'm going to be doing a bunch of looks. So this is the first one of my, I guess, holiday look series. This look includes a really pretty silver lower lash line as well as a great intense cat eye, and I decided to call this look Silver Bells. Yay! Christmas name. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. If this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, please continue watching. So the first step of this look, as always, is to prime the eyelids. We also want to make sure that we get right underneath the eye line as well, right down in here, because we're going to be putting most of our shadow right down here. So I'm going to be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, and again, you'll need a little bit of this, so just a little dab will do on the lids. And you can probably, so I put a little too much, that's barely even any on the eyelid, but you can definitely bring that down underneath here as well. And again, it's really important to get down at the bottom, right down here, because that's where it's going to be most of our eye shadow. We're going to keep this top really simple, and then we're going to do a little more of an edge at the bottom. But keep in mind, this is a super simple look. This is probably the easiest look I've ever done, and probably the brightest look. I tend to do a lot more golds and shadows, just on the edge, doing a lot of darkening, just because I like to really enhance the eye. But I think this is another great way to enhance the eye without using too much shadow and to keep it really simple and really fun and festive. So I think this is something that you can make dramatic by adding a little more shadow to it if you want, or extending the eyeliner or anything like that. But again, just really simple, really nice pop. Perfect. So now we are all primed. We are going to start with the lids, and what we're going to be using on the lids is something really basic, and I'm going to be pulling that from my Smoked Urban Decay palette, and it's just going to be this color right here at the very top. And this is Kinky, and this is just a really nice vanilla, just plain vanilla matte shadow. I don't suggest using anything with a lot of shimmer to it, only because we're going to be putting most of that down here at the bottom. We want to keep this really plain. So I'm going to be using a brush, just like, if I can find it, just like this. This is just my E.L.F eyeshadow brush, and just really simple. It's really nice and full. And again, just getting down into that Kinky, and just applying this to the lid. So you can see it really evens out the skin tone, and that is really the point of using a shadow like this. Bring it right up into here as well. That's the whole point of using a shadow like this, because we want to make sure that since we're not putting really anything up here, we want to even out the skin tone. We don't want it to look really splotchy. We want it to look, again, nice and even. So just make sure you kind of get that right into the crease as well. And we're going to do the same to the other side. And you can already tell the difference between this one and this one, I think, at least, when I'm looking in the mirror. This looks a little more soft and even. This is just, you can see it's really kind of dark into the crease, so this is going to even all that out and make it look really nice and soft and romantic and smooth. So, again, you can bring that up into the brows as well, because this is such a light color. Just a really nice soft color that is not going to really make a difference, kind of highlighting that area. Now, of course, you can always highlight that, and I'll kind of tell you more about that as I get into the lower lash line, how you can really make this a little more dramatic. But once you apply all that shadow right into those creases, right into the inner corners, you can use a big fluffy brush. Not necessarily a domed brush, it doesn't have to be, but this is just a really nice fluffy brush, and just so you can kind of blend all that in and not make it look as harsh as it's kind of going to the regular parts of your eye, or regular parts of your skin. Again, this is just for you to make this more of an even look, since everything is concentrated in the lower lash line. So, really simple. Alright, starting with the silver, I kind of like to do a gradient Again, you don't have to do this, but I like to do a little brighter, of course, right in the inner corners. In the middle section, I like to do a little bit of a darker color, and then at the outer corner, right into here, I do a plain matte black, just to kind of tie in the top and the bottom. So this is NYX's Silver Shadow and Snow Candy, and this is a really nice bright silver. It has a lot of silver fleck in it. The only problem that I see with NYX shadows is that there tends to be a lot of fallout, so just kind of keep that in mind. You don't want to apply all the rest of your face makeup because you're probably going to have to wipe some of that out. So I'm just going to take a nice angled brush like this. Oops, excuse me. Nice angled brush like this. And just kind of dip that in there, and you're going to see it kind of breaks up a lot of that shadow, and just tap it off. Again, if you have another silver shadow that's really nice and bright, definitely use that instead. But I'm just going to apply that right into the middle inner corner of the eye, or excuse me, the inner corner of the eye right in here. And we're going to stop halfway because we're going to be adding a little more of a different color into that area. So just kind of bring this up right in here. And then same thing to the other side. And you can definitely see how that's brightened up the eye for sure. Just bring it up. Again, we're going to stop right at the middle. And then we're going to want to blend that out a little bit. So this is just another Sonia Kashuk brush. Just kind of a nice fluffy brush. And we're just going to kind of blend that in so it mixes in with the other shadow that we used, that kinky that we used on the lid. And then we're going to apply a little more just to brighten that area up again, just at the bottom. Perfect. Okay, moving on to the middle section right here. Again, I like to do a gradient. You're more than welcome to use this over the entire bottom or the lower lash line. And to really enhance this, if you want to do a little more dramatic, you can use it on the upper lid as well. I don't personally like to do that. I think that's a little too much. I don't think it complements my skin tone as well as I'd like to. But if you're a lighter skin tone, I definitely suggest it. It really enhances it, make it really nice and bright, and I think it's perfect for the holidays, for New Year's Eve, anything like that. So anyway, moving on to these middle sections, I'm going to be using another palette, and that's just going to be my regular Naked Urban Decay eye palette. And I'm going to be using this color right here at the very end, and this is in Gunmetal. And this is just a nice pewter silver, and I think it complements the silver and the NYX shadow very well. So just using that same brush, dip in there, tap off the excess, and then hit this middle section right here. Oops. Just take your time, or you're going to be like me and poke yourself in the eye. Doesn't matter how much experience I have doing this. I probably poke myself in the eye every video that I do. And just make sure you kind of blend. So you can already see the gradient between that lighter silver right here and to that nice dark pewter. And now we're going to bring it and extend it all the way to the outer corner. So I'm going to be using Max Carbon, and this is probably the best matte shadow or black shadow I've ever used. I've had this for years and years and years and years, and you can see I barely have even made a dent in it. I strictly just used to use this to do my eyeliner up at the top. I would put a cream eyeliner and then use this to top it off. So that is why I barely even touch it, and you can tell that's kind of the same reason why I use it now. I'm just kind of using it to enhance the outer corner. You don't need a lot of this. You're really literally just going to dip the brush in, and you can already see the end is already coated, and you're just going to hit this outer corner right here, and we're just going to blend that real nicely. See, you can already see the three colors, but see how dark that is? Blows my mind. This is by far one of the best eyeshadows, black eyeshadows for eyeliner, anything like that, just to really deepen it up. And it's almost like a cool black, so it doesn't overwhelm the eyes by any means. So that's super simple for the eyeshadow, but you can see, I don't know if you can see the reflection right here. Look, you see that fallout of the eyeshadow? So we're going to be using a big fluffy brush like this. Well, it's not really big, but it's a nice size fluffy brush, and you're just I'm going to clean that up and bring it up nice and clean. And then to finish up this look, we're just going to do a nice cat eye up at the top. So I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Carbon Liner Intense, and this is by far one of my favorite eyeliners I've ever used. So I'm just going to be using a tiny mirror right here. You can see all my messy stuff on my dresser, and I'm just going to get that cat eye. So I'm going to try to do this by looking at both, but I really suggest, now I think the easiest way that I've learned recently to do a good cat eye is to start with a line first. So you're going to start right here and bring it up and then connect it from the inner corner, just so you're not doing all that work and you notice later that they don't match. So again, just taking it and drawing that line. And then again on the other side. Just going to make sure that's nice and even. Right? Nice and even. And then you're going to make sure, always make sure that your brush is really nice and wet with the product, or it's going to start smudging. So just apply a little more and then go in the inner corner right here. As close as possible. And you're going to start lifting it up and you're going to connect. You're going to connect it together. And just keep on adding till you get a nice even line across. And you're just going to keep on adding till it's really nice and even and you get that perfect cat eye. So I'm going to actually show you on one eye and then I'll do the other one. There you go. There you go. Super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Great. So now I have both cat eyes. See, they're really nice and even. It makes such a difference by doing the lines first. I've done it so many different ways, and I just found this technique, and every time I do it, I get the perfect cat eye every time, and I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I get that really nice tip. So a lot of the reason why I like how defined the cat eye is with this is because we kept everything really plain on top and really focused down at the bottom, and especially that nice black matte shadow that we stuck on the edge, or on the ends, really matches up with that cat eye. So to finish off the eyes, we're just going to be using a nice intense black mascara. I'm going to be using the Volume Flash Scandalized Mascara. This is Rimmel. I really love this. I also think that I think the L'Oreal Voluminous in the gold tube is really good too. I just happen to not be able to find that. But this is really great for this because it really adds a lot of fullness to the eyelashes. So it almost makes it look really pin-up like, and I love looks like that. So we're just going to add that to the top. And make sure you get at the roots. And if you close your eyes enough while you're getting the roots, you're going to go ahead and hit the bottom lashes as well. Again, don't bring it in too far in. We want to make sure that we keep that silver really nice and prominent, because that's the whole point of the look, is that we really see that nice silver line at the bottom. So and then we're going to add a nice second coat. I really also suggest, if you don't have long lashes quite like mine, to curl them or using a pair of falsies. I personally don't use a lot of false lashes. I think they're a little too much work, and they usually end up coming off, and then you have to end up reapplying and keeping glue with you, and usually people can tell that they're fake, and I don't really like going through all of that, but sometimes they're fun. But I would just suggest just curling and just finding a good mascara that has a lot of volume. All mascaras work differently on a lot of people. They don't always work the same as they work on me. as they work for somebody else. So just kind of try. I wouldn't suggest buying something that's like 20 bucks if you're not sure what you like, only because you just wasted $20 on something you're never ever going to use, and you can't typically return mascaras because you've used them on your eyes. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just pick out a lot of drugstore mascaras, and you will find something that you really, really, really like. So moving on to the face, I'm going to back this up just a little bit. Alright, now that I'm backed up a little, you can kind of see my whole face. So, we're going to use something really simple on the cheeks. We don't want to overdo it because the eyes are really, even though they get simple, they're really dramatic because of that beautiful cat eye that you created. So, I'm going to be using the Tarte blush in Doll Face, and I love this blush. It is incredible, the lasting power of this blush. It lasts all day, and it's really, really nice and natural. It reminds me of NARS's Orgasm, but it doesn't have all that shimmer, which I think can start to look a little cakey, where this isn't the case at all. So I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush for this instead of a nice angled brush, because I kind of just want to hit the whole cheek. So I'm just going to kind of dip that in, and then hit just the top of the cheeks, and go up, kind of missing the contours, because again, we don't want to overdo this. So we just want to hit the cheeks. And it gives you that nice flush. And then to complement that, I'm also using a lip gloss that's really similar in color. And this is in Max Lip Gloss, and this is in Nymphet. And I've loved this for years. I've had this for a really long time. But I really, really love this color because there's a really nice gold to it. But it's a really nice natural pink. It doesn't overpower the face by any means. It just really complements it. And that is it. Again, as usual, just fluff up the hair so you're ready to go. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please hit that subscribe button. You can always find me on Instagram and Twitter at LuckieEcke, LuckieEcke. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.